Today we're going to be speaking about judo. We've got the president of São Tomé and Príncipe Judo Federation, Mr. André Rosa. How you doing, André?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for having me here, and thank you for the invitation to talk a little bit about the work we are doing around here.
That's right. No, thank you very much for joining us. It's I'm looking forward to hearing about the judo development work that you and your team have been doing in São Tomé and Príncipe. If you could tell us where are these island nations located? Because I'm obviously this is for the Combat Sports in Africa podcast. I'm actually living in Canada, and I have people who listen to this podcast who live in North America who probably have never heard of these two islands. So if you could kind of give us the geography real quick.
Of course. So we are in the Gulf of Guinea, next to Gabon and near Equatorial Guinea. And we are a two-island country. So we are in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean, and that's where we are.
Beautiful, beautiful. I saw some pictures, and it's pretty stunning, and it's exciting to see. Yeah, it's exciting to see that judo is being established there. So to start us off, can you please give us a brief history of the introduction and growth of judo in São Tomé and Príncipe, touching upon also your personal journey into the sport?
So I am originally from Portugal, and São Tomé and Príncipe is a former Portuguese colony, so there's a big connection between the two countries. My father is a judo coach as well, so I do judo since I am born almost, and he's a great coach in Portugal. He was a good athlete as well. I am very proud of the work he's doing and that he's done so far. And I was an athlete in Portugal. I represented the national team in Portugal. And I always felt that judo was a big part of my life. It was judo was responsible for the man that I became. So when I had some injuries in my shoulder, so when I gave up to compete, I wanted to make more people to practice judo and to share this sport with more people, and to make more people to know this sport and to benefit from it. So I studied physical education and sports in Portugal. And while I was studying in Portugal, doing my degree, I had the opportunity to do a volunteer project in São Tomé and Príncipe. So I joined an NGO in Portugal, and they brought me here to Príncipe Island, where I live now, and where Judo Global then started. So I came as a volunteer, and I during 2 months I was teaching judo on Príncipe Island. So during these 2 months was very challenging, and I saw that judo was not implemented in the country. So I went back to Portugal, and I decided that I wanted to develop judo in this country, to make people here to know about these sports and to benefit from it. So I went back to Europe. I did a level 4 degree course in coaching in Great Britain, the European Judo Union course. And after that, I came to Príncipe Island, to São Tomé and Príncipe, to live here and to be developing judo in this country. So this was when I came here. It was in 2015, and during that time when I came, there was already a judo school in São Tomé. So we started to work together, and I was in the other island, on Príncipe Island, the smallest island in the country, and I started a judo school here that I gave the name of Judo Global. So from there, we started to develop judo, to have more people practicing judo. I saw a big potential. The population is very young. The kids are always playing around, and they have a lot of potential to be good athletes. And I think sports can be a way to give direction to this potential and to give some opportunities to these youngsters to have a better understanding of the world that is surrounding them and to be better people in the future. And that's what the creator of Judo wanted Judo to be to make a better society. And I believe Judo has this, it's a great tool for this and other sports as well. But since I am a Judo practitioner and a lover of Judo, I see Judo especially being a great tool for this. So then the school was growing. I was focused in having more people doing Judo, to do Judo competitions in the local competitions here on Prince Island. And the National Olympic Committee wanted Judo of São Tomé and Príncipe to be represented internationally. And they saw in our organization a good way to do this. So they believed in our work. They saw that we were organized and we were focused in developing the sport of Judo in the country. So they gave us, they trust in us, and having the National Olympic Committee on our side, we could join the African Judo Union and the International Judo Federation last year in 2022. And now we are representing the country internationally. So it's good to find people trusting in us and seeing good things in our work. And it's a pleasure to represent our country internationally. And we have a big road to ride, but we are focused in the future and focused in developing this sport and developing the society, especially.
I really appreciate that introduction, and I really love these sorts of stories. But by the way, as a combat sports fan, obviously I'm a fan of Judo, and I've interviewed folks in Africa who've done incredible work for the sport of Judo and other sports. But I do love these stories because it's incredible to see how far one can take the sport. As you mentioned, now you guys are part of the African Judo Union. We're recognized by the country there, but by the government as far as the sport. Your sport is part of the system, and it's incredible milestones. I have a bunch of questions to ask, but the first one I want to ask is if we could go back to the first time you went to São Tomé and Príncipe. I hope I'm not mispronouncing it. I probably will, but bear with me. If you could go back in time to I think it was 2016 when you went, yeah?
Was it? Well, when I came as a volunteer, it was in 2011.
Oh,
2015, I came here to live here.
Okay.
In 2016, we started the judo lessons regularly on the island.
Right. In that span of time, would you have thought, if you were to go back to 2011, the first time you landed there, would you have thought you and the team and all your supporters would have been able to take it this far as accomplishing all these goals?
Well, when I came in 2015, I came to live here for 3 years. So yeah, the plan was that.
Right.
So now it's much more than that. So yeah, I never thought I would stay here this long. Mm-hmm. But now this is my first home, and I'm very focused to help this country to move on and to be better in the future.
Outstanding.
But yeah, I never thought I would be be here now. Mm-hmm. But we are only starting, and I have the ambition to go much further than we are now.
It's incredible because as a former competitor, as you mentioned, you're a former competitor for the Portuguese, national team. You had an injury. You have a deep passion for the sport, and here you are still, holding on to that passion, but doing something even bigger than competition, which is sharing it with the world and sharing it with with this country in this island nation in West Africa, you know what I mean? And spreading and promoting the sport, which I think is outstanding. I want to know, in terms of growing up, you were introduced to judo through your father, who was also a judo coach, as you mentioned. Could you share with us some of your fondest memories from the early days and how that experience has shaped your vision for judo in São Tomé and Príncipe?
Well, the first memories I have of judo is being very young, maybe I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, and to go with my father to the training sessions and to be on the side of the mats, playing, drawing, uh, and then when I started to learn some things to show off my ukemis and my techniques to the greater athletes in Portugal, and it was very natural for me to judo was part of my life. So even when I was growing up and starting to compete, I wasn't the best competitor, but it was very natural to do it. Then some memories I have, it was especially um, maybe when I became a junior, so around 20 years old. There was a big change for me when I realized that I had the potential to be a good athlete and I have the knowledge to do that. And then I felt that when I was competing, all the responsibility was on me. So although I needed a lot of people to train with me and to make me develop, the responsibility when we are in the mat in the competition area is on us. So we need to give all we have to be successful. So then when I became a coach, to change this vision. So when we compete, all the focus is in ourselves, and when we start to coach and to teach judo to children, it's the opposite. Well, it's the same. The focus is always in the student, in the practitioner, in the athlete. So when we become coaches, we need to change the focus to the others. And those are some realizations that I made during my life. And then when I came to Prince Island, I came with all these backgrounds, and I am trying to do my best to give people here the opportunity to grow through judo, to have opportunities to be better people, to have a better understanding of the world around the people that are doing judo, to give a path for judo to be part of people's life in the country, if they are practitioners or athletes or instructors, or one day presidents. Why not? One day someone will need to be where I am now. So I see the path of sports and judo as being part of is a long journey and can be part of everybody's lives. So so that's what I'm trying to do, and we are trying to do in Judo Global, is to give this, to have this system, to have this structure for all the people to have the opportunity to do judo and to have judo in their lives, and to judo to have a positive impact in their lives.
By the way, I really like the name Judo Global. I think it's and the logo and everything. It's pretty creative and very marketable. I must say. I'm just going to move on now to questions in regards to sports development. I do want to go back to how judo has been very important in shaping your personality and leadership style later on in the interview. But I'm curious to know, could you elaborate on how judo has been received in the communities, especially among the young population? What are they telling you? What's the feedback that you're getting, and how has it been received overall?
Well, it's been very well received. The majority of the practitioners we have here are below 12 years old. So yeah, especially for the youngsters, they see is as playful. That's what we want for them to have fun and to enjoy doing judo, and on the same time to develop the values of judo in their day by day lives. So for the parents, I believe they see as a good thing as well. And for the other stakeholders like the government, the National Olympic Committee, they see that we are growing, that we want to do a professional work, that we want to be serious in what we are doing. Right. So I believe it's because of that they are trusting in us and they are supporting us.
Now, can you tell us about the training centers established by the Federation and the kind of reception and participation you've seen there? Mm-hmm. And follow up, how have the lives of individuals attending these centers been directly impacted? If you could share any stories.
Of course. So our headquarters is here on Príncipe Island, and we have another school in São Tomé. And one thing that we did to help us to develop the judo in the country is to have a methodology of teaching judo. So this make us to have certified instructors and make us to give them a guidance to teach judo in what we believe that it's a good way of teaching it in a safe way, fun way, to have more people practicing it and to increase the complexity of the techniques on the way. So this methodology helps us a lot. And we believe it's a great system to develop the sport in the country. Some stories that we have. So the first one is our first international competitor, Rodinei Oliveira. He started to do judo here on Príncipe Islands with me in 2016. And then he moved to São Tomé to study there. And he continued to do judo in São Tomé. And this is a great challenge because when we change our lives, we change the location when we are living. Normally it's difficult to continue doing the sport that we like. So he showed the passion he has for judo, never gave up. He went to São Tomé, continued to practice in judo there. And recently he went to Portugal and he continued to do judo in Portugal as well. Then the first opportunity to compete internationally was a Grand Prix in Portugal. So he was there and he was showing his passion to the sport, and he showed that he was prepared, and he was the first international competitor for São Tomé and Príncipe. I am very proud to see him doing this path. And what I saw in judo that was very important to him was to be a good tool for him to feel integrated in these new places where he was living. So firstly, when he went to São Tomé, practicing judo there, his friends were the judo practitioners. He integrated in São Tomé much quicker because of this. And then in Portugal, where the culture is even more different than the difference between Príncipe and São Tomé, it was a great way for him to be integrated in this new country in Europe, where he would know almost anybody there. So his support when he needs something, when he needs some help in all the different areas of his life, is almost always the judo people that help him. And I believe so that judo is very important and has been very important for him in his path through here. I know he will achieve much more things, but I think judo is giving him a direction, is giving him friends, and that's very important in our lives, the people that we meet and that are surrounding us.
Very interesting. Can you give us kind of an idea of what the population of the island nations are, like in terms of, how many, what's the population and how many practitioners do you currently have?
So the population, sorry.
It's all good.
So the population is 200,000 8,000 people, so it's a
Okay.
small country. On Príncipe Island, where I live, is around 10,000 people,
Oh, wow. Okay.
so very small
Right.
population, and but very young.
Mm.
So more than 60% of the population has less than 30 years old. So it's
Wow.
a very young population.
Hmm.
In terms of practitioners, during this year, we had more than 350 people practicing judo during 2023
Is that
in São
is
Tomé
that
and Príncipe,
okay? Okay.
in the
Sorry.
country,
Right.
exactly.
Okay.
And since 2016, 700 people practicing judo.
Outstanding. I know that recently in July, I believe you guys had the National Judo Championship, which is a significant milestone for judo in the country. Can you share some highlights and personal moments from the event? Additionally, how has this event contributed to fostering unity and showcasing the talent of young athletes in the nation?
So this was the second edition of the National Championship.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so it was the second
sorry,
time.
when was the first one? Was it last year?
Last 2022, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. And in 2022 was the first time that we had a team of São Tomé on Príncipe Islands. So it was a great way for them to share this passion to judo with the people here on Príncipe Islands, the people from Príncipe Island to know other people doing judo in São Tomé. It was a very interesting experience for all. And this edition, we had a team from São Tomé coming to Príncipe Island again, different athletes. So it's always good to have this experience for them to exchange their friendship and to exchange positive things. In terms of the competition itself, it was very good. What I noticed is that the athletes are improving a lot in terms of techniques and tactics in the sport. And I think the highlights would be when the blue belt from Príncipe Island could win against the black belt from São Tomé.
Oh, wow.
And everybody that was watching got very excited for that, and it was one of the highlights of the competition. But what I believe the competition has is this exchange to know people better, to know ourselves better, to be to know how to deal with the pressure. This is what competition is about: is our self-development and what's our potential in the world that is surrounding us. So all the competitions are important for this. And what we see is important to have different levels of competitions for the ones that are practicing judo. So we have the regional tournaments where people can have their first competitions, the national competitions for those who are competing for a longer time to have a higher challenge. And now we have the international competitions as well for the ones that need to achieve more. So that's what we see. It's important in our organization is to have different levels of challenges for the ones that are practicing judo to have a challenge that match their expertise.
How do you retain talent? I'm kind of skipping the question. I have a bunch more, but I'm curious to know because from the sounds of it, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like obviously there's a good level of participation from the youth. People are interested in the sport. People are engaged. People appreciate the coaching and all that, which is fantastic. But for such a young country overall, in terms of young people, how do you retain their involvement and participation in the sport, particularly, I would say, for female athletes? And especially those teenage years, because I know from what I've just read, from what I read and so on, as far as sports development, wherever you go, there's a very tough demographic. When kids hit puberty, sometimes, they turn 12, 13, 14, you know what I mean? They grow, they lose interest in the sport, right? for various reasons. I'm sorry for generalizing here, but how do you keep their level of interest in the sport long term and lifelong, if possible?
I would like to know. The answer is difficult.
Sorry.
Well,
I thought you
can
would know.
share our strategies. I can share our strategies, but it's one of the big challenges, I would say, in every place. I know. So the interest of the youngsters when they start to grow up changes. The importance of studies changes. The parents, especially for the females, sometimes I would say, especially here, the parents become more protective for the females to go out during the evening to practice sports. So there is a lot of barriers. And what's our strategy? First of all, is I would say our methodology. So the ones that are practicing judo, they know where they are in the path, so they know that they can achieve more, and to change the color belts, to learn more techniques. They know that one day they can compete internationally. One day, if they want, they can become instructors. So to have a clear path, I would say it's a good way to overcome that challenge. Another thing is to create trust in all the stakeholders. So especially the parents. It's very important to create this trust, and it's a big challenge. But that's what we are trying to do, and to have other stakeholders trusting in us as well, like the government and other entities, make us to appear more in the news, to have more articles, to be on the TV. So all of this creates trust in the ones that are near us, and they believe in our work. They believe they are in good hands, and that's what we try to do. But the demographics, I would say, it's similar in everywhere. We just need to do our best and to find strategies that work in where we are. So, but yeah, I would say the methodology we have is very important, and to create trust in all the stakeholders is very important as well.
Very interesting. On the point of stakeholders, can you talk about the kind of support and collaboration the Federation has received from various stakeholders, including government, private companies, and international bodies like the International Judo Federation?
Of course. So the biggest supporter we have, I would say, it's the National Olympic Committee. So this was the first step to have credibility internationally and even nationally, to people trusting us to be the ones representing the country, this sport internationally, to represent São Tomé and Príncipe internationally. Then the International Judo Federation is doing a great job as well to promote judo around the world.
And I must say, sorry to interrupt. I must say, for anyone who's watching, go on their website and check out the articles. They have a couple of articles on the great work you guys are doing. So it's awesome that they're documenting that in text format. And who knows, maybe they're going to deploy a video team to the island. You know what I mean?
I would love to.
Yeah, well, let's ask them right now if they could do that. Hey, IJF, can you make a video on the great work that's happening in São Tomé and Príncipe? Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But please continue. Sorry about that.
Exactly. So IJF is, I am a fan of the work they are doing, having judo all around the world, having all the competition circuits around the world, and promoting judo in each national federation. IJF is doing a great job. The African Judo Union is one of our supporters as well. And then we have some local companies that are trusting in us and supporting us as well. In terms of government, especially the regional government, so Príncipe Island is a regional, how can I say, autonomous region. So has his own government.
Right.
It's the same country, but it's an autonomous region, and the regional government is supporting us a lot.
Awesome. In terms, so I'm just brainstorming openly here, if you don't mind. You know how we're talking about retention strategies for athletes? Sometimes I would imagine, sometimes there's something about having like big superstars in sports show up. Like, what sports are popular there? Well, besides, I would imagine maybe football is popular, right? What other sports are popular?
The football is the number one sport, although
Okay.
in terms of international representation is not very successful, I would
Right.
say,
Right.
but it's the number one sport in the country. Then in terms of success and in terms of international results, there are some track and field athletes um, with good results, and then the canoeing, kayaking. I don't know the
Okay. Yeah.
English
Yeah.
name.
Yeah. Kayak. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
They have good results as well. And
Here's an
now
idea.
judo is growing.
Why don't you take members of the national football team, put a gi on them, and throw them around?
Yeah.
That's a way to, you know what I'm saying, to advertise, and I'm sure the football fans would like that. And maybe, I don't know. Sorry, I'm just brainstorming openly to
Yeah.
see how to kind of cross promote sports, because I think that's very vital. And in addition to that, I'm curious. Obviously, you're originally from Portugal. Sorry, are
Hmm.
you busy at the moment? Do you,
No.
it's all
No.
good. Okay.
Focus.
Awesome. In terms of is there any collaboration with the national Portuguese team? Like, do you plan on bringing some people from the team to kind of train, or you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of that cross
Hmm.
training, I would imagine. Are there any, or even other countries, like maybe fellow African countries or
Hmm.
European countries and so on? Is there any of that sort of collaboration?
Yeah. So especially with Angola,
Okay.
they are supporting us a lot. I didn't mention in our supporters, but the Angolan Federation, Judo Federation, is supporting us a lot, and they are open to take care of any of our athletes if they go to Angola. We had already two athletes going to Angola, and we just need to get them there, and then the Angolan Federation take care of them, treat our athlete as one of them athletes, and they are being great on that. And I'm a fan as well of the development of judo in Angola, the federation that they have with young people leading the federation. They are very ambitious, and they they are developing the judo there very well. I like the work they are doing. In terms of Portugal, there's a lot of youngsters going to Portugal from here to study.
Right.
So Holdinay that I mentioned before, he's
Mhm.
studying there, and he benefits of the Portuguese Judo Federation with all the trainings that they organize there. Um, and the Portuguese Judo Federation, we need to work together with them because we have a lot of athletes traveling there,
Mhm.
so and living there. So it's an important stakeholder in our development as well. But Angola is doing a great job helping us, and I believe other national federations will do it in the future as well. We are connecting with all the national federations around us.
Right on.
We are open to get them here too. But since we are beginning, I think for now there's more interest in the other federations to get our athletes there than
Mhm.
to come here.
Interesting. In terms of support, like what else, as this development progresses, as far as developing the sport there, what are some of the unique challenges that you've come across that you think are very unique to this country or this region?
Mhm.
If you could kind of
Um,
elaborate on them.
yeah, so I would say firstly, being a small country, the scale it's always a challenge because it's difficult to have a lot of scale even for support of privates or uh, to have a lot of people practicing judo. But we still have a lot of work to do in scaling our sport here. So, but that would be a challenge, especially when we need support from private companies or other entities.
Right.
Since there's not a big scale, it's difficult for them to have a lot of profit then to share in with social projects like ours. Another challenge is the immigrant of the people, the youngsters that are studying. That
Right.
there's a lot of people going to other countries to continue their studies.
Right.
So, and as I mentioned before as well, when our lives change, when we have then we have new challenges, and sometimes it's difficult to continue to have the same sports in our lives. Maybe when I change the country, I don't have a judo school near me, or now I need to work and study at the same time. So a big challenge is this uh, young people going abroad to study. And what we try to do is to help them to find a new judo club and for them to continue to do judo.
Right.
We have that story of Holdinai that we believe that judo is being a good part of his life for his integration in each new country or new area that he moves. So we always do a positive um, contribution for them to continue to practice judo when they travel. So yeah, but I would say these two are big challenges. The scale of the country is a small country. The isolation, well,
Right.
another challenge.
Right.
Everywhere we need to go, we need to take a flight, even from Príncipe to São Tomé or from São Tomé to Príncipe. It's expensive to travel in the country. It's expensive to travel in this continent. So the isolation is a big challenge too. So isolation, scale, and the youngsters going abroad to study.
Very interesting. Those are very interesting challenges, and I think you could almost do a sociology like research on that, and write about that in PhD form. I'm curious to know. I have a personal question to ask you. How has this journey, of relocating there, teaching judo, promoting judo, collaborating with others, and seeing all that progression, how has it changed? Has it changed you and or your perspective of the role of judo in society?
Yeah, of course. There's everything we do, all the experiences we have, of course, influences the way we see the world. I think in judo and in sports, maybe because of the intensity we live and we do the things in sports, especially when we compete. The impact of all the experiences we have is even greater in the way we develop our personality. For me, coming here to this country, being a different country of the country that I grew up, it's an experience that changes the way I see the world as well. So I know I have the opportunity to know people with a completely different background of mine that had different opportunities that I had.
Right.
Everything is different, so it's a big influence of the way I see the world nowadays, all the path and all the experiences that I had until here.
What do your friends and family back home think of your judo your judo work and this big commitment that you put for the sport? abroad. Well, what do they think of that?
Well, my family is they show proud of the work that I am been doing. My mother always supported me a lot, and even when I was growing up in my education, always saying follow your dreams and do what you can. That's always looking forward. My father being a judo coach, he's proud of seeing me continuing judo and having judo as the first activity in my life. He's more how could I say? He's more conscious, and in the beginning, I think he was not understanding why I was developing judo in other country when I was already teaching judo in Portugal.
Mm.
But now, seeing everything I done so far, he's proud of everything I did and what I am achieving.
It's
My
incredible.
friends,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Sorry.
I have a lot of the majority of the friends I have, they do judo as well,
Of
and I
course.
think they, yeah, and they think it's very interesting for me to, although continue doing judo, to make something different and to to go to a different path than the majority of people that continue doing judo in Portugal. So that's what I feel.
It's really interesting hearing all this because as I'm hearing and from the articles that I've read and now that I'm interviewing you and having interviewed others who do this sort of work, I think we really have to appreciate the effort because it's really planting a seed for inspiring a whole new generation of judoka, whether they play recreationally or have the opportunity to compete at the highest level. It's through the work of people like you, and others that you collaborate with. You know what I'm saying? So it's incredible, man. So congratulations for all that.
Thank you.
I think we need to congratulate people like this who do this sort of work because in some parts of the world they probably don't get enough of that sort of positive feedback. Some people may not understand the sport, may not see the value of the sport beyond competition, right? It's a way of life. There's more to the sport than just fighting, right? And we'll get into that. But before we do, I know we only have about 15 minutes left. I want to talk about the African Senior Championships that just happened recently. I believe you guys sent one competitor to compete there. If you could give us a summary of your experience there and the competitors' overall performance and what they learned on the mats.
Mm-hmm. So this was the first time São Tomé and Príncipe was being represented in an African Judo Championship. So it's a motive of proud to everybody involved. This athlete is the one that I was mentioning, Holdinei Oliveira. He is now living in Portugal, continue his life there. And our national coach, he is based in Portugal as well. And the learning is always that we need to do more. So this is a good thing in sports. We are it's never enough. There's always a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to develop, and having this experience in sports is a great way to understand how the world works and how the life is. So but it's in the same way, although we see a lot of things to do, there's a lot of things to work on, but it's with a lot of proud that we see our flag in competitions like this. It's a lot of proud to see holding they are competing and representing his country in an African, in the biggest continental competition of judo in Africa. But the feeling is always the same. There's more to do in the next day. Hands on. We want to have more people there. We want to have people better prepared there, to have um, better achievements. It's always to do more, and I think this is one of the great things we have in sports. In terms of the experience, it was very good to connect with the other national federations, to connect with the African Judo Union, to be there. It's very important to be there for everybody to understand what we want to achieve. That we are a new federation, but we are serious. We do a serious work. We really want to use judo as a tool to develop our country, and it's very important to being there representing São Tomé and Príncipe, uh, to people to understand the work that we are doing. It's of course, as you said, competition is a small thing in the whole sports scenario. It's only a small part of the sports, because only a small part of the population has the age, the the personality to be a competitor. But I think sports and judo is for everybody. So the competition is important because it's the ultimate expertise of the sport, and everybody likes to see people doing things well. But the sports has a much higher impact in the youngsters, in the elders, in the ones that need discipline, the ones that need to be more active, the great leaders of companies and other institutions. It's great for them to do sports and to be in an honest place where everybody is seen as the same. It's sports is very important for the society, and sometimes it's not easy to show that to some people that maybe never practice sports in a serious way. But I believe sports is very important for all the societies, and especially here in São Tomé and Príncipe, where we have a very young population. There's not a lot of opportunities for the youngsters to understand the world surrounding them, to travel, to educate themselves. And education through sports is very important for the future of this country, I'm sure.
Yeah, I follow you on Instagram and I see the videos, the instructional videos. You know, you guys have. I recently started following you, and I've seen that content. And I'm like, wow, you guys are really you're documenting all that. And as you mentioned, it's a very young nation. These are young athletes training, learning the sport, and developing and potentially progressing over the years. Hopefully, to international competition or other roles. In terms of the future, looking to the future, could you share with us the Federation's vision and plan for growth and development of judo, especially focusing on nurturing young talent and expanding the reach of judo in the country? Well, what's the vision?
So the baseline we had concerning that is the methodology that we developed, and it's a continuous development. So now that we have the experience of implementing this methodology for 2 years, we will start now to open more schools. So last year we will open one school in São Tomé with this methodology. Is working very well, being the headquarters in another island. We've been able to implement this methodology.
Oh, I think I lost you. Oh, you're muted. Okay.
So now that we saw that we are able to implement this methodology in another island, we will start to open more judo schools. So for this year, our aim is to open 3 more judo schools until the end of this year. And I believe in 1 or 2 months we will have these schools opened, and from there we need to educate more instructors, to certify more instructors in this methodology for them to be able to open more schools. And with that, to having more people practicing judo in the country. For this, the donation of some of tatamis by the International Judo Federation is very important as well. Now we have more equipments. We can guarantee the safety and the conditions for more people to learn judo and to have more judo schools. So in terms of judo development and having more people practicing judo, the methodology, I believe it's a very important thing for some institution that wants to promote judo and to have more schools, to have a proper methodology where you can trust that you are implementing judo in a safe way, in a way that people will learn judo, um, taking the step by step. They will know where they are. They know that they will learn more in the future. And this is very important for the development of any sport, I would say, especially for judo.
Right.
Using the collar belts to have this perception of development is very important as well. So this is what we want to achieve in a short term, mid term goal. In terms of competition, we want to have Olympic participation. We have a chance to be in Paris 24.
Oh wow! Wow!
Yeah, with
that's awesome.
Of course.
Wow.
With the universality place, so the Olympic solidarity.
Right.
We have a chance of that, but where we believe that we will have a better participation will be in Los Angeles. So in
2028. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. But there's a chance of going next year.
Oh, there's a chance. Yeah. That'll
exactly.
be incredible for the program. Absolutely. There's only 5 minutes left. I have two last questions for you. Curious to know, this one will frame around motivation. In terms of, you've acquired a lot of attributes through your judo journey. How have they applied to your role now as president of the federation?
Well, yeah, as I was saying, judo is my life is difficult for me to understand how would be my life without judo, since I'm doing it since always, since I was born, seeing my father coaching. What I think it's important is for us to understand how our personality is and how we can use our personality to encourage others to self-development. And sports and judo, of course, it's a great tool for for us to understand how we are and who we are. So yeah, that was very important for me. Judo was very important for me to know who I am and how my personality is. And being now the president, it's always leading by example, being always ready to work and to encourage others to see our goals as a shared goal and to see our dreams as a shared dream. And this is what I am doing in the role that I am now. When I came here, I came as a judo coach, and I thought to manage a judo school that would be enough, but it's not. We are always learning. There's a lot of things to learn in management, in leadership.
Right.
But normally we always start as a technician, and then we need to grow to be leaders and to be managers. And it's been a great challenge and a great path to seeing this project work, to learn on the way. It's been amazing.
I bet it sounds amazing. One last question for you in terms of advice for judokas, for people there that you've seen move up through the ranks and compete and so on. What's the best advice you would give, and what's the best advice you've been given?
Well, the person that was more influential in my judo journey, of course, is my father, and my father always led by his example, and he always showed us how hard worker he is, and that was a great encouragement to follow his steps and to be hard worker as well. So maybe it wasn't by words, but by example. This was the best advice I had in my journey. And the advice that I can give to others, and especially for judokas, is to have a clear vision, maybe not vision, but direction where they want to go. To have a plan, follow the plan, trust the plan, trust the ones that has knowledge in the field that they want to improve, and follow that direction. Maybe sometimes the rhythm to get this vision is not what we know, because we will learn a lot of things on the way. But if we have a direction to have a continuous development, we will increase our knowledge. We will increase our expertise, and we will go somewhere. Sometimes we don't know if it's the same place that we had the envision, but when we work in a positive direction, we will get somewhere, and hopefully somewhere good, somewhere positive for us.
Fascinating stuff, my friend. Thank you very much for your time. I do plan on interviewing you again. I want to hear more about your methodology and to actually discuss and drill down on judo there and worldwide. So thank you very much, Mr. André Rosa, who's the president of São Tomé and Príncipe Judo Federation. Look forward to speaking with you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to let me share some of my experiences, and looking forward to have another conversation with you.
Thank you very much. Keep up the great work, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.